right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. I'm really thankful tonight on this Shabbat. I guess I'm working. I don't know. uh, I got my treadmill out that I bought about a year ago, and it's operating. I have to get going, dropping my weight. So I have like this triple whammy going on. I wasn't getting out walking. My stress levels up because of the all the medical stuff I got to focus on, and I think something I'm eating is probably off a little bit, a little higher in sodium. I might end up just throwing that food away. Again, the deep state devils curse you, and your life just doesn't work out and whatnot. Blood pressure's up a little bit, but I haven't walked. I know my body's really weird like that. Maybe because I used to exercise so much that as soon as I stop working out, my blood pressure goes right up. And then I guess the other thing is the endorphins. If you don't exercise, your endorphin stops. Then the stress is a little bit more effective. Again, that's the deep state uh, recipe for killing people. So you're not going to catch them just investigating. You're going to have to use spycraft investigation. I know I'm against spycraft investigation in the wrong place. So that's the idea. Don't abuse it. Don't use it in the wrong place. Don't investigate people, investigate crimes, that kind of thing. I'm going to give it a try with no shoes on. This is just, my shoes feel funny on here. I have pretty stiff shoes. They're not shoes. It's going to throw my distance off here, but I'm going to see if I can. It may not work because I don't have the inserts in, but we'll see. I definitely want to buy a softer set of shoes for this thing. So it's interesting to see Satan's stance. I The other day I was working on my fireplace, lower level fireplace for the ark to go on top of, and it was so weird. The thing I mount my tablet to, which I haven't mounted my tablet to in a long time, just kind of it's just like the one piece just imploded off the top. I know I hit it with something, but it was just bizarre. It was like, what's up with that? I didn't even remember if I had fixed it or I placed it somewhere else. What is it? It's a microphone stand, but a short one, and then you put the pivoting arm into it. So it's a microphone stand instead of clamping it to a table or mounting it to a table. So it's kind of weird that it had that happen. Again, it's happening a lot like that. Like if you look a week before you do something, look at the week before. Did something attack what you're trying to do before you even thought of doing it? That's how Satan has the view, the eye on this planet. So again, this should drop my blood pressure right back down. Just continue to walk. As soon as I start walking, it starts going down. Again, that's probably also the endorphins. Again, the doctor's office say it went down anyway. It just kept. If I stayed another like 20 minutes, it probably would have went down to normal. We're close to it. That makes them mad. You see that people like that don't belong in other people's lives. That's what's wrong with the country. You keep promoting devils, demons, antichrist, witches, and sorcerers, and you keep hiring devils, demons, antichrist, witches, and sorcerers. So I see they have a continuing resolution. That's nice. So I should have gotten to this point in Oklahoma, no doubt. Maybe even Colorado. Just couldn't get anywhere with what they were doing, and they know it. That's why they do it. So I lit the spot candles tonight a little bit late, but better late than never. And I've been thinking about it for the last like 3 days. I almost lit the candles last night again on Thursday. I'm like, wait a minute, it's Thursday. So I'm getting closer to finishing that project, the Ark. I'm glad to get this Amazon purchased treadmill out. The first one I bought just it just imploded while it was in delivery, and somebody else had the same thing happen. So I'm like, no way. If I order it again, it could just come the same way. And it's a really heavy order, so I didn't want to do it. I ordered something different. This one isn't as long as the other one, but I probably don't need it that long. So it's really strange how the world's changing. And again, we're not looking just to deport people because we want to be vindictive. The deportation is going to take theoretically a certain form. It's just not. It's not going to. If they're picking on people, then they're doing it wrong. But again, under Biden, people are being deported, so that's still going to go on. Like today in those cities, ICE is picking people up and deporting them, like Colorado, Massachusetts, Chicago, Illinois. But what they're going to do is go, oh my God, look what they're doing. Well, it's already happening under Biden. And like Homan says, there's just so many kids here, we need to account for them. And a lot of them are in sex trafficking, there's no doubt. Again, one of the curses they have on me is for me to be involved in that. And I kind of investigate it in the mind. That's about as far as I can go nowadays. Right. And then I try to heal it. But I know they're out there. I can feel them. I'm sure my voice speaks to them. I have to be on the planet for that to work well, I guess, or work as good as it does. So hopefully that works. Now, we have to focus, as it has to run like a well-oiled machine, like it won't probably, but we'll at least try to do that. And then maybe there won't be so much that the media can grab and throw at us. So there are goals within it that really, people might be deported, but it doesn't have as much to do with deportation as it does getting control on it and, helping even undocumented immigrants when they get here. So if they put in for amnesty, we can manage that number and we can make sure they stay safe. They don't just disappear. Again, I've always brought this up that we don't even know they're here, so many of them. If somebody kills them, we don't know. And again, there's the Jane Does and the John Does out there are the immigrants. Well, I try to keep it in the back of my mind, otherwise I'd be too depressed. I try not to have too many present body conversations with people that are in bondage. Especially with the life. Like if I had a regular life, it would work. So we're gonna need she's hiding, isn't she? Or she's probably enjoying the last quiet period of time in her life for now. Christy Noem, we're gonna need her to be Senorita Noem. So hopefully, that madre figure will help it all come together. As far as they don't like the deportations, and I see them. I have the Blue Line hat on, and I don't feel good about it, but it's just like going to war. I don't like war. Again, I said before, the best soldiers, the best military people, the people that hate war. And it's funny because the one guy, the Imam, I guess the Shia, I think it's Muhammad's grandson or something like that. And he's the one that speaks about Haya and protecting your neighbor from embarrassment and from people knowing about your neighbor's sin. That Islam is actually that. When it got shifted by the moguls is what came out. When I was driving around and healing Edison, New Jersey, and I was going to those Indian and Arabic stores and whatnot, Pakistani stores, I heard a lot. And part of it was that the moguls had picked up Islam. Again, the oligarchs picked up Islam and destroyed it because it took the other side of it out, the compassionate side, which is really, you can't. It's a balance. Again, if your idea of mercy is cutting someone's head off, then where are you? What should Allah do when you pass on? Well, Allah wants to give you mercy. Allah will cut your head off, right? So again, he had great disdain for death. But he was a great warrior. I hate death. It just has no use. They have all these ideas that God this, God that. I said years ago, God's not a whack. God's not a schizophrenic. No, I said God's whack. That's something different. God's not a schizophrenic. God's not a nutbag. What's happening on this planet isn't necessarily God. So again, now that I'm on this, I could probably walk a half hour at least 3 times a day and not worry about the weather. And I'm eventually going to start up my amplifiers and probably have a real microphone, but it may be too sensitive. I actually might have to use this, but I could plug this into my amps. Maybe see if I can make it sound. I'll plug it in my noise gate. That way I'll turn the noise gate off here. Actually, Elon Musk's the X, what's that thing called? Spaces. Yeah, it has actually the best sound, I think, of any of the live. But again, it doesn't have to transmit a photo. Which might, if we actually did that PowerPoint type thing I was speaking about, it might, I don't know, they may have done it. I haven't been on it Spaces in a long time. I'm glad Holman picks up a certain narrative. I mean, he's the bad cop, right, but he at least picked up the narrative. And I'm sure he means it. But Christine Noem actually needs to be the good cop. If we could, she'd be a perfect person for it. But you could use somebody, a lower ranking person if you wanted to. So what that it means is we have to create a series of videos with good cop. Because you don't want Mr. Homan coming for you. And we'll see if we get the DACA for it. Now I know Trump's just putting that out there as like, we could have a place. I'm a vegetarian, but theoretically you're all meat eaters. You could, how about some filet mignon? And sniff it, fragrant. Look at it, it's juicy. I'm sure he's going to want a big payment for it. Right. You're not going to get a path, or at least I don't think they're going to do. I think they're trying to avoid pathway decision because they figure they'll all be Democratic Party voters. That doesn't always play out with Latinos and Latinas. So at least make it legal for them to stay. So this is going to work because I'll get my 30 minute. No, I woke up, man. They were keeping me asleep. I don't know how they had to be witchcraft. I'm thinking my magnesium glycinate isn't working. The one I bought, it was a different company. I'm not really having trouble sleeping, but it's just not as smooth. So I have to get over and get some of that magnesium glycinate. But I don't trust that Walmart over there too much. I mean, I shop there a lot, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, I might shop somewhere else. So I wonder if you don't even know if the views on X are. I mean, it's such a dishonest world. Like it shows like that. Oh, you have 20 views. You don't know if anybody sees it. I know they build it like that. You can isolate you and make you see everybody. Think everybody sees your posts. Can't trust any of them. So I got my blue light on in here. When I get done with the fireplace part, that's going to work real nice. Oh, I found out my mother has a cyst in her kidney and like appeared, like one day she does a CAT scan, it's there, and then it never grew any bigger. It's just a small little thing. Like mine's a small little thing. So it actually could be genetic. Well, I don't feel bad ending the planet. Again, people are going to die, but people die. I mean, it's horrible. When you get to like I'm 60, I'm like, oh my God, people died when I was 20. A kid died when I was 6. He went to Israel and Tel Aviv. His name was David. I guess it's a sign, right? David goes to Tel Aviv and he falls down the marble steps and dies. And David actually, he provided the marble for the temple, I think it was. King David. So again, yeah, my little brother's friend. Again, my little brother and I was like a year and a half, 2 years apart, something like that. So it wasn't that much younger. But this little kid, David, I remember his mother was a good looking woman. Yeah, I was only like 7 or something, 7.5. But they said, my mom, I remember my mother said, like, David's not going to come to be back this year. He went to Tel Aviv and fell down the steps and died. That was Beth Jacob. Again, Hashem sends me, and it's kind of it's not supposed to be a test. Again, I'm not supposed to be in a body, so that you failed the test right with that one, encasing me in a body for a lifetime. But I mean, the kind of life you gave me and the tortures you use, and how you all empower Satan, how Satan empowers all of you. There's just no reason for this place to exist. At least, with life, besides maybe a couple cockroaches. Now, the problem is like, see what Hashem did for me. So I wake up, and the deep state's kind of held at bay. They're not as big as they used to be. I'm not going to work every day where the evil eyes can curse me. I'm kind of off by myself. Right? I mean, I'm sure they still stalk me. So Hashem's able to communicate with me. Remember I told you I was in New York, and I'm driving over a small bridge. And it's just, over another roadway or something. And as I'm approaching the bridge, Hashem says, when you get on the bridge, this is how I know it's real. Hashem says, when you get on the bridge, you're going to be invisible. And I said to Hashem, because this was my answer to Hashem a lot of times, and then it turns out like this. But I said, Hashem, I believe you and everything you say. But I said, I don't see myself turning invisible on that bridge. So as soon as I get to the bridge, there's like evenly spaced people walking, maybe, 6 on the bridge. They all turn and look away from the center roadway out. The guy, and Hashem goes, you're invisible. They can't see you. But again, that's how he's showing me how Satan also hides things from us. Like I've been in front of my future wife probably 20 times. But it's, how do you get to it when they're blocking? So again, these are the reasons why the planet's being killed. But they don't even have to block you. They can cast a spell and you don't see your loved one that would be a future loved one. Or your loved one can't see you. I keep seeing Mr. Chairman. Something was wrong with Mr. Chairman's gait. He used to walk funky. Yeah, Fox Chase. He was a cantor, Fox Chase Jewish Center, Community Center. He's my bar mitzvah teacher. Probably proud of me, right? Most radical, almost rabbi in the world. Now, all there needed to be was an honest analysis of the planet. And that's all it really is. Okay, so Hashem shows me the afterlife, shows me other places, and how simple life is in the existence above this one, which would be a spiritual, physical existence. And then I've seen spiritual existences, and again, then the Kabbalah started coming up. I mean, Hashem used to just speak the Kabbalah to me before I even looked at it, and before I even knew it was Kabbalah. Thank you, friend. And then he also showed me some of the Mormon stuff. So this is letting me know that, hey, you're real and they were real. Now, again, one of the themes is the things you receive, and Jews know this one. The things you read, you receive on this planet, yes, no. And again, the things that are in the scriptures, yes, no. But there's a pattern and a plan within those scriptures. So Hashem always said, and he reminded me just there, he tapped me on the shoulder kind of, and he said, it's all just to get people connected to me so I can speak to them. And it doesn't always happen in a person's lifetime, but that's what it's for. Because again, the Shabbat people said, or it's Shabbat, whatever it is. Not too interested in people and organizational names. I can say Hashem, that's enough for me. They say, the atheist doesn't know that something else is out there. But even the people that have the different varying religions, some worship idols, whatever it is, they know something else is out there. And that's the key. Now, if you meet Hashem, it's pretty cool. I wish we had our simple life that we had, either when I was first met Hashem as a child, or even when I left the government, it was getting pretty good because we had these big plans to heal everything. And I did heal. I drove through so many cities, just healing city after city after city. The big joke was that Hashem would schedule me for the city, or maybe T.D. Jakes would. Maybe he's so blessed that I would come through and heal the city before he arrived. But I'd drive around a city and heal it, and then I'd look up on a billboard, and like T.D. Jakes would be arriving in the city in like 2 weeks or something like that. So I'd always, it happened at least 3 times. So I'd heal a city before T.D. Jakes would show up. He was a healer. I mean, no matter what happens in his life, it's very difficult. Again, Rabbi Emden, Jacob Emden, said that the concubine and the great rabbi. That's just one example of it. Hashem explained that to me before I read it in Jacob Emden's stuff. It's just they're gonna curse you and curse you and curse you. You're gonna be that focus of the curse. Now, part of that is it's a service to the people because they're not getting cursed. They're focusing on the big rabbi and cursing the big rabbi. Or spiritual guy if you're some other religion. But if your system's honest and everybody stays well. Like my apartment's like totally haunted because you all cursed me. They're trying to get my head. 30 minutes max, 30 minutes max. Maybe actually I'll take that and I'll use it. 30 minutes max for this broadcast, and then I'll start the next one. So I wish somebody would donate money for my massages, because then Hashem would bless the planet. So again, when they block that, or they put the inference out in the mind that you don't want to donate to this guy, you're removing a blessing that you all could have. Well, the Democrats are still focused on helping Trump not be who he said he was going to be, but, positively, like showing him the way to do what he wants in a nice way, right? Again, that's what I'm trying to do, whether they were real about it or not. Well, we have, like deportations, there's a way to do it so that it goes better than just insanity. I don't know if they're going to build those trucks, but if you do need to move people quickly out of the remote areas, 6x6 pickup, not 6 pickups, but 6x6 cargo trucks work real good, 5 tons. They have an extended bed one, but I don't know how easy they are to come by. And then you have to work out a seating system. But again, they could even drive Border Patrol vehicles or ICE vehicles for you. I'm sure there's some sort of certification they'll need. But if they drive buses, I got a bus license when I was in the military. You can actually take a regular person, give them a bus license. but there are drivers that are qualified drivers that are, a little bit better than the average driver. Be like a semi driver. Get some of them, have them drive some of the immigration buses. I think it's lawful. You still need like security, but I imagine it's similar to a BOP bus, or at least should be. I don't know if you have that compartment in the back or not. So then that frees up usually an officer for something else. Drivers are the most important people you're going to, request, because they could even drive your an SUV or something while you do your work. Try to calculate and get on the phone or radio and make your communication so you don't have to do it while you're driving. Or two officers strategize instead of one driving and one strategizing and trying to focus on two different things. Yeah, I knew how to walk. I usually before I go to the doctor, I take a walk, like a short half-hour walk. I didn't do that this time, so that probably. I know my body's weird like that. As soon as I start walking, everything goes. My blood pressure drops again. But I'm glad I'm on my treadmill. I thought I was never going to get this thing out. No, they curse it when you buy it, man. If they couldn't stalk me, they couldn't curse it. I have to get some audio, I guess, going on here. Let me see what we got. Designs, I think. Have any of my stuff on there? Video clips? I don't know. My stuff is on here. Let's see what I got here. We put Bob up there. We can all look at Bob. Wait, it's not a video clip. It's just the Bob. I have to put that down here. Here we can have Trump thanking me for my work, but it never like translates into anything. I never get anything for it. That's why you're supposed to actually move physically for me. I'm your power guy. Where'd Trump go there? No, there he is. Well, where's the up, Trump? Trying to block me from over 30 minutes. I can see the pushback. I can see the pushback. Until I figured this out a little bit, I thought I was going to actually have to go back to Pennsylvania, and that was their goal, to get me to move again, because then they get paid. Give them a Weinstein bonus. There's what's her name? We can look at this for now. Actually, that's yeah, that should be it. All right, that's enough of Trump. That's enough, Trump. Enough up it. Well, this feels good. I couldn't break through the wall and walk. Couldn't get outside to walk. I mean, it's not really that cold for me, but I couldn't get to it. I had somebody lend me some money for massage, so it's not horrible, but again, it's only going to last so long. I still need probably at least $1,000 more. I had to buy a new bed. That was part of the problem with the back. I was just sleeping on this cheap mattress I bought when I moved out of the extended stay. I knew I was going to need a new one someday. I just didn't want to spend a whole bunch. Yeah, I feel better already. I can tell. I have to walk or exercise some way. Yeah, the weird part with like Luigi, people like they kill me, and I got information for people. I put it out there every so often. And like I told everybody in Santa Fe, watch your back while you're lifting weights. Da, 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 da. And then when I figured out about the foot spurs, so I don't know what his damage was, but he may have just been able to get some massage to at least alleviate everything and not get the surgery. Or get the surgery and massage. I told them before that if they don't take care of the foot spurs, then the surgery is going to still be weird. Like a guy complained about one of the surgeons I was looking at that he felt like off, like it was off, it wasn't straight. I believe he probably had foot spurs because that's what happens when you have foot spurs. Your back gets crooked like. So if he took care of his foot spurs, then his back would relax. Again, intuitively, I found it. God got me to massage, and they screwed it up. I couldn't get back to it to save my life for the last so many years. Again, that's them using what they call disruption technology, but it's spycraft, and it's lethal combat techniques.
שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד
I couldn't hear that. I don't know why not. Hopefully you all heard something. Well, I'm gonna get offline for a second here, and then I'm gonna start walking again.